Cyrus Jones from
Okay, I'm going to continue with your phone calls. We've got two guests coming up in the last hour. Constitutional lawyer, scholar Larry B. Crafts, talk about the makeup of the Supreme Court, and Elena Kagan, a.k.a. the Penguin. So I was wrong yesterday to call her a demonic pelican. It's a demonic penguin. In fact, later on in this, we'll show you an image of the Batman movie penguin character, and I'm asking you, is this not Elena Kagan? But it's wrong to make fun of her for how she looks. It's her actions. So we've got a clip of her talking about the banning of books. So that is coming up, and we're also going to talk to a member of the Icelandic parliament who's the spokesperson for WikiLeaks members who are in hiding, being hunted by the Pentagon. Yes, what a strange world we live in. But I do want to go back to your phone calls while we're talking, because we are now simulcasting live at prisonplanet.tv. I'm going to just show you some of the videos without audio of your prisonplanet.tv viewer. If you're a radio listener, you can go to prisonplanet.com and read the article Steve Watson did about it, about activists being grabbed by plainclothes goons and thrown into vans, and they're just pulling up and grabbing and beating people up for no reason and throwing them into unmarked vans and speeding away to set the precedent to have private security goons out arresting you. And Canada passed a secret emergency law to allow this. Of course, no law was passed in Pittsburgh, but they just did it. And there's video of them singing Canada, Oh Canada, and being run over by the police, including a London Guardian reporter who was beaten. And they were told, I'm beating you because someone burned cars 2 days ago. Yes, that's on record. I'm beating you because someone did that. And black vans grabbing people as part of a psyop. I mean, this is all part of training everyone, police and everyone else, that now unmarked vans grab you and you go bye-bye, just as Lieberman and McCain have bills introduced with the headlines, citizens to be secretly arrested, no court, no due process, enhanced interrogation to be used. You just disappear into a black hole forever. Instead of, the song about school's out forever, no more pencils, no more teachers. Now it's the Constitution and freedom's out forever. No more private property, no more Second Amendment. Tyranny's here forever. Unless we let them get away with this. By the way, everybody's emailing me going, Alex, the headline says that the Supreme Court extends Second Amendment rights. But then the footnote is, but for the first time, the High Court ruled there could be restrictions under law. You ever notice politicians say, I believe in the Second Amendment, except if prescribed by law? That's why the gun grabber groups have hailed it. Because now, yeah, in places like Chicago, they may let you get a permit if you jump through 100 hoops. But nationwide now, they can pass unconstitutional laws restricting it and violating what's happening in Texas, Arizona, and Vermont. Okay, I'm done. Let's go to your calls. Who's up next here? Dave in Arizona? Dave, you're on the air.
Hi, Alex. Thank you for taking my call.
Good, sir. Good to have you here. Thanks for calling.
Are you familiar with the World Peace Project?
It rings a bell somewhere.
Okay, well, the World Peace Project has done studies all over the world. They've done a study in Washington, D.C. in 1993 where collectively a group of people got together and they prayed to reduce violent crime, and they reduced violent crime by 23% in the District of Columbia in that year, in 1993. They have decades of scientific research that show that this works, that this
well, there are major, even atheistic studies they've done where they found attitudes around plants seem to have an effect. Music has an effect. And there's certainly a lot going on in the universe we don't understand.
Now, what I would suggest, Jesus said that in John 14:12 that we would be able to do greater things than he did, but he has to go to the Father. So we're in that time where we collectively will be able to do greater things than Christ did through his power. And what I would suggest is that since the Bible asks us to pray unceasingly, that I would ask everyone to start praying for the disruption of weapons in the hands of tyrants immediately. That means disrupt their computers, disrupt their communications, disrupt their electronics, disrupt their ammunition, disrupt their vehicles. When they try to snatch someone off the street and throw them in the car, hey, 4 flat tires, or the electronics doesn't work. I'm telling you that this is going to work. This is what we're going to have to do, Alex. And this is going to work, guaranteed, because the scriptures say it will work.
Well, I'll just leave it in God's court. I'm going to stand up physically, in the info war on this plane of existence and warn people and put myself in harm's way and do whatever I can to try to point out what's happening. But I do pray that God gives us divine intervention and providence, and that tyranny be confused, and that tyrants fail, and that God's will be done upon them. And I'm asking God, and of course, history shows you need to ask God to come in. You need to ask for the help. And I think that is an important prayer to put out there. George Washington did it, and I'm doing it today. And I appreciate your call, Dave. Very interesting, very profound thought there. For those who just joined us back at the start of the show an hour and 39 minutes ago, I said, I want to hear profound statements today from callers. I'd like to hear what you believe is profound, what you believe the world is really all about. I know this, what we pray for, what we dream about, is what our mind then imagines, and then what we manifest. In 1900, Max Planck, as I started the show talking about, the German physicist, envisioned nuclear quantum and atoms and splitting the atom. And by 1918, he'd written complex equations on it. And by 1934, other physicists had already written out nuclear reactors. They never split the atom yet. And then by 1939, they split the atom, and the rest is history. That's what the human mind can do. We envisioned airplanes 300 years ago. We have them. We envisioned spacecraft. We have them. We've envisioned particle accelerators. We have them. We envisioned black holes with mathematics. The satellite telescopes have found them. The human mind is unbelievably powerful. That's why the globalists are always telling you you're weak, you're pathetic, you don't have any power, because they are adept at power. They understand the power. They're tuned into the secrets of the world that it's handed down by their societies over millennium. They know things that, I don't know, and all I do is research this, but from the outside. And the information I know I can barely deal with and barely understand. Imagine these people. But they've made the decision to use all this knowledge to totally dominate society and their fellow man. I'm saying use knowledge to empower humanity and to believe in humanity, not to dumb humanity down. But I've always wanted to give. I've always wanted to create. These people are twisted, and they use their knowledge for evil. Everett in Florida, you're on the air, Everett.
Yes, thank you, Alex. You make a lot of great films. All the pieces of the puzzle are out there. The truth is out there. But if I may humbly and respectfully make this observation.
Yeah, go ahead.
My observation is that if you tell people the air, the food, the water, their minds are being poisoned, and bankers and New World Order and all that stuff, it isn't immediately tangible to them. They don't see it how it directly affects them right now. But I believe if you make the one film that will sell more than Avatar, if you make it, you being the person to make it, you'll be able to cut off the root of the New World Order's existence and supply, which is the source of their plans to enslave us. I believe that if you make a film exposing the individual income tax, that is tangible, and it is undeniable.
Well, that was a lost opportunity. Aaron Russo called me over and over again, and I had such a small staff at the time. For some reason, I didn't even contact him back. He tried for a year to interview me for his film, Freedom to Fascism, but I still promoted it once it came out, and that was a lost opportunity to be in that film. And I've exposed the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report 12 years ago with a film. And I guess I could make a documentary about the income tax. But I think America Freedom to Fascism has done a pretty good job at that.
Yes, but I think more detail needs to be shown, like the truth of it. And as a matter of fact, in less than probably 20 seconds, I can start people down the rabbit hole if you'll allow me just 20 seconds to say,
sure,
show something. Thank you. If everybody out there will go get a copy of the Internal Revenue Code, or go to their accountant or their attorney and ask them for a copy of the Internal Revenue Code, turn to the back of it, which will have blue pages called the Topical Index, and look at liability for tax, under L, obviously. You'll see all the taxes that there's a legal liability for: gift tax, railroad taxes, tobacco